Welcome to our daily dose of success God's way. I'm Erin Harrigan, your Hustle with Heart coach and your healthy living coach with Arbonne. And it's a little dreary here in Chesapeake Beach today, but we're going to be headed up the road to a little colder and probably more cloudy Philadelphia to see our daughter's first college show and get to see her and all of her friends. But I want to welcome you to this quick daily dose. So, wow. Let's look back over the last few days. We have really tackled a tough topic of money and success and what Jesus taught about money. And I'm just curious, if you don't mind posting below, post me an emoji about how that made you feel. You know, was it like, wow, it surprised me, or, oh, I'm not doing so well at that. I'd love to see kind of what those last few days struck in you. I know for me, it really reminded me more of keeping his insight versus my eyesight at the forefront. And guys, I'm here to tell you, as I always do, like I am on this journey too. I've just been called to share from my journey so far, to share his message in my mess. So the next few days, we're going to be covering hurdling the roadblocks of success. And as you know, I've been coming to you, and I have a few more lessons in this, so I'm really excited to continue going in this Experiencing Success God's Way by Dr. Charles Stanley. And this one is really so good, because how do we overcome roadblocks that are bigger than we are, and understand that, you know, where God calls us, he equips us to be, but we very often, A, feel inadequate, and B, feel like we have to drive it and push it uphill, and we don't, because there are things that he's called us to that only he can do. So let's dig into this. So this is what Dr. Stanley says, and I'm just going to read part of this today, and then we'll do it in stages as we usually do. Why do some people fail to reach their goals? Why does success seem to elude some people who truly want to be successful? Remember how we're defining success, though. We're not defining it in the world's terms. I'm just going to go back to the beginning, because some of you may be new to our daily dose, and I want to share with you what success looks like from God's perspective. So success God's way is becoming the person that he has called us to be, and is desiring to be the person that God has called me to be, and to achieve the goals that God has helped me to set. So you may be thinking, oh, I'm not a success because I haven't reached this promotion level, or this title, or this money, or I'm still in this job that I don't like, and whatever. But if you are, and you are a work in progress, because you are his workmanship, created to complete the good works that he's already put there for you. That's Ephesians 2:10, my kind of messy reading of it. But you are a success if you're continuing to progress to becoming the person that he's called you to be. So just know that and celebrate that. Okay. So Dr. Stanley says, there are many reasons that this is suggested. And you may have experienced that, like, well, you're not doing enough. You're not talking to enough people. You're not running hard enough. You're not moving fast enough, whatever that is. But what he says is, I believe the root reasons for failing to fulfill God-given goals, again, God-given goals, lies inside of the person. It is not external, material, or circumstantial. So Hebrews 12:1 gives us important insight that can help us overcome roadblocks that we encounter. And this is all about laying aside every weight, everything that's holding us back. And here's what Hebrews 12:1 says. Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and he sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So the good news about this is that we are surrounded by encouragers. We are surrounded by people who want to lift us up, who want to help us straighten our crown as daughters and sons of the Most High King, and who are showing us the way. And some of these are people that are still in our lives, and some of these are the heroes that went before us that are no longer here, but are now in heaven with the Lord. Countless saints of God who have lived successful lives in Jesus Christ. They can be your inspiration. Two of the greatest things that you can do for yourself is to read biographies of great Christian men and women, both those in history and those who are alive today, and associate with Christians, especially those who are more mature in their faith or who may be older, who have been walking longer in their kingdom walk, who are experiencing success God's way. So one of the things that we're often told in business, getting my fizz in this morning, is to take advice from those who have gone before us. Good morning, Kim. Who are those people that exhibit or are living the success that you desire? And that's really, really important. And as God-centered entrepreneurs, as those of us who are putting Christ at the center of our business, we really need to look toward other God-centered entrepreneurs who have been successful so that we can understand how did they do it, and what did they do to overcome obstacles, and how did they continue to keep their focus on the Lord, not looking left and right, focusing on his insight to lead them. So I want you to think about who has been a role model in this way for you. What qualities do you admire about them, and how have they influenced your life? And then lastly, I want you to think about, what are the weights that you need to lay aside? Is it fear? Is it a feeling of inadequacy? Is it feeling of you're not worthy of what God has called you to? Is it you're worried that people are going to look at you funny because you're trying to build this business with God at the center, or you're not doing your business the way others are doing it because you're following God's goals, or your goals have shifted? Remember, when you become a new creation in Christ, your goals, your desires, etc., shift. And so is it fear of what other people think of you? I just want you to give some thought to those things today. And I'd love for you to post below what it is that you feel like is holding you back. What are those hurdles or those roadblocks that you need to get to hurdle over? What is that weight that's holding you back from pursuing success God's way and the goals that he's set, that he's helped you set? So post that below. If you're not comfortable posting that here because it's public, feel free to head on over to Success God's Way, our community. That's the perfect place to share. Like, this is what's been weighting me down. How can I let go of this? And I promise you, that is an encouraging community. Talk about surrounding yourself with an encouraging community. That's an encouraging community of God-centered entrepreneurs who are hustling with heart, aligning their results with God's truth. So get on over there and do that. So that's what I have for you today. Tomorrow, we will have a weekly dose. Actually going to do that in the morning instead of the evening. So I think I'm going to be doing that at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. I know many of you will be en route to church, which is totally fine because you can always watch the replay. But our weekly dose will be in the Success God's Way community, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. And then the third thing I have for you, besides commenting, sharing, and getting on over to Success God's Way, again, if you're looking for a coach that can hold your hand through this process and really help you dig into your spiritual gifts, your success journey, and what does that look like to pursue it God's way, let's have a chat, because I'm the Hustle with Heart coach, helping entrepreneurs align results with God's truth. And I'd love to help you or someone you know to explore if I'm the right coach for them. So have a fantastic Saturday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for our weekly dose in the Success God's Way community. See ya.